Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rikah, Kodash. This is thousands of Excel customers locked out of thermostats during emergency, energy emergency. This is breaking news, breaking news. Actually, it's happened a couple days ago, but it's been updated not too long ago. And I mean, just we just gonna read through this article, but just imagine being. I mean, I don't even. Just imagine being locked out your thermostat. So like, just imagine getting up, right, and you go to your thermostat, and they got it. They didn't hacked into your shit, and they got your shit set at a certain temperature, and you just sitting there for an hour trying to get it unlocked so you could change the temperature. Because if you're going to your thermostat, then 9 times out of 10 you're going to it so you could change the temperature. You want to change something about it. You want to turn your fan on. You want to turn it on cool or not, something like that, right? Now imagine doing that, sitting there for an hour wondering what's going on with it. Then you got to call and then see what's going on, and it's probably a long line because everybody, it says thousands, everybody's calling, so you're sitting on a waiting on the phone for somebody to answer because you've been locked out your goddamn thermostat. Now see, this is what everything is leading to, all this digital shit. This is giving them the power, just like when the B system comes, and then his currency, you have to take the MOTB, which we all know is the chip, right? In order to buy or sell with digital currency, pretty much, they're going to be able to lock you out just like this. You guys want to get all these electric cars and stuff like that, but they're going to be able to lock you out, man. You don't have insurance. You ain't pay a car note. They're going to be able to stop your car and come pick it up and tow it. If not, drive that motherfucker itself back to the plant or back to the car lot or whatever, because some of these cars could drive themselves. So this is giving them power, man, god-like power over man. It says 22,000 think, just let that sink in real quick. 22,000 people lost control of temperatures in their home for hours, not just a couple minutes. This is for hours, right? It says this is in Denver. I was just down there out in Denver. It says during the dog days of summer, right? It's important to keep your home cool, but when thousands of Excel customers in Colorado tried adjusting their thermostat Tuesday, they learned they had no control over their temperatures in their homes. Now I'm willing to guarantee it was a lot of motherfuckers after this, switching companies and stuff like that for their power. It says, if you could do that, I'm not sure. I know, like in my city, you pretty much ask out. It's one place. It's called City Water, Light, and Power, and that's who's gonna run your shit. There is no other like competitors that you could go with. It says temperatures climbed into the 90s Tuesday, which is why Tony Tarico Tallarico tried to crank up the air conditioning in his partner's Avada home, right? It says, I mean, it was 90 out and it was right during the peak period. Tallarico said it was hot, which 90 really ain't shit, but if it's humid, then it can be. It says that's when he saw a message on a thermostat stating the temperature was locked due to energy emergency. No warning, nothing. They just got the power to lock you out your thermostat, man. It says normally when we see a message like that, we were able to override it, right? It says in this case we weren't, so our thermostat was locked in at 78 or 79. A lot of people don't keep their thermostat on 78, 79. That's kind of high. Like most people in the summertime keep it on like 72 at the most, 68, anywhere between 68 and 72 to get it close to like room temperature. It says on social media, dozens of XL customers complain on similar experience. I mean, look, some reporting home temperatures as high as 88 degrees. Now, 88 degrees in your home is very hot. You're going to be uncomfortable in your home, man. And see, this is why you got to buy fans. You got to buy those window fans for backup. It says XL confirmed to contact Denver 7 that 22,000 customers who had signed up for the Colorado AC Rewards program were locked out of their smart thermostats for hours on Tuesday. And see, that's what it's about. When you signing up to, you got smart thermostats, you know, you signing up to a rewards program, they feel like they could use that to control you. And what is everybody gonna do? They just gonna go to the internet, they're gonna go to social media and complain. That's it. It says it's a voluntary program, but that's how it always starts out. It's voluntary, just like the mark of the beast, the chip. It's always gonna start off as, look, you could volunteer to get the chip, you know. But then eventually, once they get the majority to get it, then they get power over the majority. Then they use it against you. It says, let's remember that this is something that customers choose to be a part of based on the incentive. See, it's always those fucking incentives, man. It's always, look, you take this chip, you could do this. We're gonna upload money monthly on your account. You could buy or sell. It's always the incentives. We seen this during the whole pandemic, man. There was a lot of incentives to take. You already know what. To take the jump shot, there was a lot of incentives, remember? It was $1 million rewards, $1 million lotteries for people that was taking it, thousands of dollars for people and shit like that. You get to keep your job. Like, there was a lot of incentives. It says Emmett Romaine, Vice President of Customer Solutions and Innovation of Excel, right? It says customers receive $100 credit for enrolling in the program and $25 annually. And it'd be little shit like that. You know, you sign up, you get $100 credit. So you get $100 basically off your next bill and $25 annually. That make people say, man, you know, oh, I want to sign up for that. Let me get my $100. So what do you think they're gonna be doing when the MOTB comes out? But Romaine said customers also agreed to give up some control. See, so the incentives, but you give up control. Same thing with the MOTB. It to save energy and money and make the system more reliable, right? And that control they gave up is that they can be locked out their thermostats. Now, if you would have told them, most likely up front, like, look, during the summertime, if it gets really hot, you may be locked out your thermostat and you can't do anything about it, and it may get up to 88 degrees in your house. I'm pretty sure if they was told that up front, nobody would have signed up for it. So really, that should be a lawsuit. You know, it says, so it helps everybody for people to participate in these programs. It is a bit uncomfortable for a short period of time, but it's very, very helpful, said Romaine. This is the first time in the program's 6-year span that customers cannot override their smart thermostats, Romaine said. He said the energy emergency was due to an unexpected outage in Pueblo, combined with hot weather and heavy air conditioning usage. So you better off just having your regular air conditioning, you know? Well, I mean, what's wrong with the regular air conditioning? But they always gotta advance something. That's like Esau's spirit, man. But let's get into the scriptures, because this is what it's all leading up to. This is Isaiah 13. At the top of my book, it says the destruction day of the Lord, right? And I'm just going to start at verse 6 straight to the point, right? It says, howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. So you could see these things already forming. You could see that these things is going to be just a complete destruction. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint and every man's heart shall melt. So you got to think about it. It's like people are complaining about this, you know, not having air conditioning, being locked out, it being 88 in your house. What happens when the whole grid comes down? When the whole grid comes down, you're not going to have no air conditioning. And you're not going to have sewage. So you're going to have a lot of contamination and dirty waste and shit all over. You're not going to have running water out your faucet. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get rainwater and then filter it so you could drink it, you know. And you're going to have to probably figure out how to get a food source. Or you're going to have to get out there kind of like what you see in the movie Purge, I Am Legend, Book of Eli. You know, you're going to have to get out there like that, man. And hopefully the Lord be with you if you're an Israelite, if you be one of the elect. Verse 8, it says, but look, it says, look, therefore shall all hands be faint and every man's heart shall melt. That's how horrible these times is. It says, and they shall be afraid, pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. I had a lady write me a letter and it was in my mailbox, and it was like the whole Jehovah's Witness thing. And one of the things she was saying in the letter was how the end was coming, so even they are out there prophesying that the end is coming, and that it's not going to be good. That's one of the things that she was saying pretty much. And I was like, look, man, that's the spirit right there. Let's keep going. But of course, at the end, they got some shit where they trying to sell you some shit. It was a template. But who knows? In the letter, she did say all that, but we'll see. Right now, verse 8, it says, and they should be afraid. Well, I already read that. Verse 9 says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Right? It says, I will punish the world for their evil. This is all leading up to punishment. Because a lot of people going to ask, why is this happening? Or why God? That's the first thing people say. Why God? Why is this happening? When they finally just fall down and they give up trying and there's nothing more else that they could do, that's what they say. But it's the punishment. It says, in the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So what's their arrogancy? They're arrogant because you have air conditioning at your fingertips. You move in the house to house, you move in an apartment and already got air conditioning. You go down there, set it up in your name, and then you could just go press a button. I want it at 68. And the air, and then the house does the rest of it. That's a big luxury that people take for granted. You go to the sink and you just turn a knob and running water comes out. You could drink the water, but most of the time, people got like an ice box where you could press and the water come out or something like that, right? Or they get bottled water because it's a little bit cleaner. But technically, you can drink your faucet water and not die, right? That's a luxury. Being able to go go get in the shower for 30, 45 minutes and just let the water run over you. That's a big luxury. So you got to imagine when people don't have that. They're proud right now, but that's going to cease, like it says, right? In verse 11, that pride is going to cease. When you don't have those luxuries at your fingertips. I mean, just take it a step further. Shit, you could order Pizza Hut. You could order DoorDash. It's all different type of companies that you could order for now, and they just pop up at your house, man. Your food is just, you could, shit, I seen a person go grocery shopping and the food comes to their house. The groceries get dropped off at their house. You ain't even got to go to the grocery store no more and pick out your food. You can order it online and they deliver this shit to your house. Same thing with your food. You ain't got to go out to the movies no more and sit in the theater. You got everything at home. You could just order it and watch the new movie from your TV. You ain't got to go buy a game and go to GameStop and search through and buy a game no more. Your game is digital. You just order it online and you get a digital file of it, a digital copy of it. So it's like to the point where everything's at your fingertips. So when the grid comes down and you been used to living like that, and you ain't been keeping the Lord high holy days, you ain't been praying to the Lord, you ain't been getting out there on the highways and byways, a lot of people just gonna give up the ghost, man. They ain't gonna be able to deal with it. They ain't gonna be able to deal with, especially some of your rich and famous. A lot of people is gonna give up the ghost when the internet goes down. They can't get on Facebook no more and just read and study people's lives and tell people what they're doing and have millions of fans. Some of these famous people, they live off that. So when they ain't got no fans and they ain't got people just worried about what they're doing all day, commenting on them, and that daily satisfaction, they gonna give up the ghost, man. And I can't fucking wait, man. I can't wait to that time, man. It says the Lord's elect, we gonna rejoice during those times. Verse 12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedges of Ophir. The woman they gonna have a very, very hard time, and it's gonna talk about that. Let's keep going. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. day shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. I believe when this happened, that's when you're going to see all the groups and Israelites really start to come together, because it's like our survival is going to depend on it. So I think you will see more bigger groups where you had different camps, but I think you're going to see these camps start to actually come together as one, and really like the house of David. It says everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Why? Because women are gonna have a hard time, because they're gonna be defenseless, especially when you can't call 911, you can't call the firemen, you can't call ER and ambulance come pull up because you got injured. You just gotta survive out there. So it's gonna be, a man's gonna be like fine gold. It's gonna be a great thing to have a strong man that could go get these things for you and protect you. And that's what we're getting to, you know. So this is just an example, and they're already having problems with their grid. So you have to think about it, because this is a grid problem. So they're already having problems with their grid. So you gotta watch out, because when that motherfucking grid goes down, all hell gonna break loose, or also known as shit's gonna hit the fan. With that, I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.